and then we can get into other stuff, or we'll see how we do. We have about 30 minutes.
Yeah. I'm
We may
recording
go
the
over.
meeting as well, so.
Pardon?
Awesome.
I'm recording the meeting as well on some recording software, so we have it for us later.
Yeah, good. Okay.
So in case anyone misses something or they want to go back to something, they can.
Yeah.
That works.
So
looks like it's
Nicholas
picking us
was
up.
asking if we can hear him, and we can't because he's muted.
Yeah, the mic's muted. There should be like an icon at the top to unmute
Yeah.
it.
Right over. So we'll get to it. Top right.
Yeah.
But anyway. Okay. So listen. First thing is, so how do you guys know each other? Why are you a team?
We kind of just met up through this class we took together.
Yeah, through Canvas. And
through
stuff.
Canvas, yeah. I know Nick though. I've had Nick in a couple classes before.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have had courses together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've had courses with the other gentleman, but I know Nick. We were actually working on a project, another course last spring.
Mhm.
So, and he kind of just got thrown in here at the last second.
Well, good.
I think Kyle. I can't hear Kyle.
Yeah, I see him talking.
I see him trying to talk.
Let's see. It's Kyle. That's because I don't know why, because it all looks okay. Did Kyle just drop?
I think he's
Maybe
trying
he's
to
trying to
rejoin,
rejoin.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of the typical. So first of all, that doesn't surprise me that, you know, it is typical for a group or a team to not all know each other at the beginning of a project. So.
Yeah.
All right, this working?
There
Now
we
we
go.
can hear you.
Yeah.
All
now
right,
we can
cool,
hear you.
cool.
So good. Well, and it just changes the dynamic. I think it's going to be important, obviously, that we all work together as a team. If, you know, there's going to be an opportunity to get to know each other, kind of strengths, weaknesses, interests, disinterests, all of that good stuff. And I think it will matter.
Yeah.
Well, it's been my experience it matters. So, and I don't know any of you guys at all.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm looking forward to getting to know you, and just kind of engaging with this project. My partner in the project is a guy called Faisal Bombal. Faisal is he's the chief architect for Vercom. He's also kind of the CEO of it. And he and I have known each other now for 25 years. Jesus.
It's a long time.
It is a long time. He and I, like, I'm not, so he and I guess, yeah, I hired him. I was fresh off the plane at American Airlines, and I was helping to build some safety systems for American. And I think Faisal was my second hire in the U.S.
Wow.
And we've been friends ever since.
That's great.
Really smart guy.
Good. So you've already figured out how to work with him, probably.
Oh, yeah. Now, he and I, so he is much, we complement each other. He is much more into the guts of the technology than I am. Now, I am not one of those people that says, oh, I'm not technical. I am technical. I like the technology as long as it's useful, but I'm not into, I like the technology as long as it's useful. I'll just say that. And, but I'm also not one of those folks that says, well, because I have a whole menagerie of pet peeves. One of them being people in IT who don't think they should know the technology. It's like, well, then maybe you shouldn't be in IT.
Yeah, I was gonna say it defeats the purpose.
It does rather. So
Yeah.
yeah. Now, yeah, we'll get it. I have some I have some slides because I always have slides because it helps me think. Otherwise, I
Mhm.
just go all over the place, and we'll get to those. But I'm going to ask, and I know I'm putting you on the spot. And by the way, there's no right answer, but I think it's important to understand up front when you're engaging with a group of folks like yourselves, what you hope to get from the project. What would be useful to you? Because you know, and actually, it's also true when you guys get out into the career workplace, is that the money's fine and it can be very fine. But the question then becomes, okay, what's the what are you getting out of the project so that you can be motivated to put something into it? And that's different for everyone. You'd be surprised. So maybe start with, because you're there on my top left, Kyle. What do you want to get from this? What's kind of your key? Hey, if I get these things, that'll be worth my while. It'll be good, and that's useful to me.
Okay. I mean, first of all, the resume thing would be pretty good. It'd be nice to have something else to put on there. But mainly, I think that this is a good opportunity to kind of get some practice working on a more long-term project with a group. Because I think that, I'm going to be doing a lot of that whenever I graduate. So.
Okay, good.
And it's a good chance to apply all the skills that we've learned.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And kind of see how they all interconnect.
Yeah, that's pretty much similar to what I was gonna say. Like resume is gonna be something
I feel
new
like
that we're working with.
I think I stole most of the answers.
Hey,
Yeah.
those are good answers, right? But it doesn't matter that it's the same. I got knocked off, but I'm now back. Okay. So that was Victor, right?
That was Kyle.
Oh, okay. So let's have Victor. What's your thoughts?
Sure.
Same thing.
Honestly, yeah, working in a team is probably what I'm looking forward to, just like long term like that, because I've never worked on something that long term before. The longest term project I really ever had, it's like no more than, I guess one project would be no more than like a month, in previous courses. So just having this project of this scope is really a good test of what I've learned and all that for all of us, I think.
Okay. So experience with a more deep, broad project.
Yeah, for sure.
Good. Okay, got it. Let's do Reedy next. Hey, Reedy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say pretty much the same thing. Like working with the team, getting more experience with everyone, and pretty much working on a project that's closer to like real life projects.
Yeah.
And pretty much work with others for like on job and stuff.
Good. Okay. Jonathan.
Well, thing that looks good on my resume, and then the experience of working in a group, but more importantly, just to see not only our perspective on creating a product and how the business cycle works when it comes to developing something, but more so on your end as well, because I have a dad who does a lot of this type of stuff and creates his own type of software. So hopefully down the line in the future, I could switch positions to be the one creating something and enlisting help instead of not only working on teams.
Right.
Good. Yeah, my hope is that those are good, because obviously I think that you will get all of that from this. But let's keep going. So that now, Nicholas, what about you? Nick?
Hopefully he's not doing
He's been typing.
His mic's not working.
No worries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but we have a little text chat here.
Yeah, I just pulled that up.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the top.
There we go.
Yeah. You can see what he said. Resume and learn really how it is in the real world is what he said.
Yeah. Well, I can give you one perspective of that. Um,
Hmm.
um, do you? So I know a little bit about each of you, obviously, because I did a little bit of a search and look at LinkedIn. Don't know if you guys did the same. If you'd like, by all means, do link into me. I don't want to make that something you have to do,
Yeah.
but I find it very helpful.
Right.
And that gives you a look at my network and background. Um, just to give you a brief background on me, I've been doing IT development for, oh, Jesus, more than 30 years. My first job out of college was with General Electric. So it was funny too, because at the time, of course, GE was this massive company and Jack Welch was running it, and it was all coolness. I was just got graduated from UCD. At the time, Ireland had 20% unemployment. So it took most of the summer for me to get this gig, and I had no idea who GE were. But I found out. And then I spent 6 years working for them on kind of large scale systems, distributed, actually what would count as cloud systems. And then just I've done other things since, like, I guess, consulting with KPMG, product development, CTO, and, GameStop for the last 13 years. And now I'm doing consulting again. Yes, good old GameStop. Although, so I was responsible for all of the IT and GameStop outside of the US, ironically enough. So I did a lot of travel, which I kind of enjoyed. I also set up the support center in Dublin, and I'm originally from Dublin.
Okay.
So, yeah. So let's talk about, actually, let me just make sure I'm following my own bloody agenda. Yeah, what I want from the effort. Well, what I want to do is I want to learn from you guys. I want to learn just how you work and how folks just coming out of college want to be managed, want to be led, want to engage, want to learn kind of the new thinking that you're picking up in college and from your peers and friends. So I'm looking forward to learning a lot, to be honest. And also, we're going to develop something cool. That's my opinion. It's going to be sellable by Faisal. He's kind of the client as well as the partner. Whether we sell it or not, we'll see.
Right.
But it's just interesting and engaging, and that's what I want to. That's what I want. So that's going on. So in terms of your timing, so I reached out to it's David. He reached back. You're going to probably have some things that we want to keep a track of in terms of making sure that UNT's needs are met and that you guys get a great grade out of this.
Right.
So we'll keep an eye on that. And then I haven't had the details yet. I'm going to get the form. But we want to make sure we just meet those deliverables as we go forward.
Right.
But as I said, I don't think that'll be too hard. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And then, your timing. So, okay, there's several things going on that we just need to start to organize around. Like, you have courses other than this capstone.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
You have lives and you have jobs by the sounds of it. So we just need to make sure that we're all cognizant of that. And, when folks can contribute, that they do, but that when they can't, we're not trying to create a lot of conflict and unpleasantness around that, because that does matter.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into some things around that. So I think, one of the things is nobody likes surprises, either side of it. So it's a matter of, and not right in this moment, but have a think about your calendar and your schedule. What, we might even create a shared calendar of just that will give us a sense of availability. And we'll look into that. And just the number of hours. So that's maybe a good question. How many hours are you guys supposed to do a week on this project? Has anyone told you?
I think he said like
30.
around 10. I
10?
think.
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said 10 for the professor did, anyways.
Okay. That's a fair few hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah, we'll play that one by ear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm just saying, okay, that's more hours than I expected. So we'll play with that. Now again, as we all know, if they're productive hours in which you're getting some value out of them, they'll kind of fly by. If they're dumb and they don't really add up to much, then they won't fly by. So let's look at that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be up to all of us, but it'll be especially up to me to make sure that they're a good investment of your time. See how that. I think it'll go okay. Okay, so that's that. Success criteria. So I think the success criteria will be something we can demo and something that looks great on your resume. And I'm gonna see about making sure too that I connect you with my network so that you get some interesting people that you've talked to, maybe in companies that you'd be interested in working for. So
that'd be great.
Because well, it'd be fun for me too. Honestly, you would be amazed at how many executives are always on the hunt for talent, but are effectively insulated from getting any from direct access to it. So I think that folks will be just as interested in meeting you as you are in meeting them. We just need to create the right forum and the right context. And I say that that's my expectation. I haven't reached out to some of the folks I'm thinking about, but I will. So let's see how that goes. Okay. Right. I'm going to rush through a PowerPoint because, as I mentioned, I like to be structured. I'll send you the PowerPoint afterwards. And yeah, I know PowerPoints, but I don't know. It's going to be one of the things that I'm going to look for from you guys is kind of feedback to say, hey, this was useful, this wasn't. Here's how we expect to go about things, and we notice that you don't do that. Or, actually, now that I see it, it has some value, right? Mm-hmm. So,
feedback.
Yes. Amazingly enough, I don't think I know everything. And I don't think I learned it 2 decades ago, and therefore I don't have to learn anything, right? That's probably how I survive, which is to come to a situation with some actual humility. So actually, I found the deity has a sense of humor. So if I don't come to that with humility, I soon acquire it. Oh, I'm digging. There's a whiteboard here. This is new. Teams is a good tool. Zoom is a good tool. Microsoft wants to own the world. Since it wants to own the world in a way that I don't care about, I'm okay with that. But and obviously that's one of the things that I'm engaged with, which is helping Microsoft own the world, because I think I can make money out of that. So just as you know.
Wait, did Ian's video freeze, or is he just standing
Oh, I thought he was
eerily
doing.
still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did freeze. Ian, come back.
It took like a good 10 seconds for
How
me
did y'all
to
get the
realize.
little message thing to pop up for Nick? Like, I still can't find that.
It's
Oh,
at the top where it's like the little message icon at the top.
Message icon.
Like if you're on a
It's towards the
computer,
right, yeah. If you're on a computer, I'm not sure if you're like on.
yeah,
Yeah,
on a
yeah, I'm
computer,
on my
it's gonna
computer.
be like if you just move your mouse around a little bit, you get like these controls in the middle of the screen, and one of them should be a little like open conversation button. Are you on the browser, or did you like down?
I'm on the app.
Okay.
Is it different?
For
I
me,
don't
for
know.
me, it's top
I'm
right.
the app
Windows,
too.
Windows 10 app.
Okay,
Oh.
that's weird.
Do you see where your like mic icon is, like the mute button? It should be
Yeah.
kind of in that area. It should be like a conversation bubble
Share
thing.
content. Conversation.
Yeah, it should be a conversation thing. You just click that.
I don't know. Maybe we're on different versions or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You'll be able to see on the recording whenever I release it how it looks
Okay.
for me. Like,
Yeah.
for me, it's up
Are
at the
y'all-
top right.
Are y'all on the browser, like a Chrome browser version?
No, I'm on like the app.
The actual
itself.
app?
Yeah, the desktop one.
That's weird. Maybe mine's not updated.
Yeah, because I had to download this for a different class,
Uh-huh.
so I
Meeting.
already had an account and everything for it set up.
Yeah. What the heck? That's weird. Oops.
I'm just hoping this recording picks up the voices. I mean, I'm writing like the topics we're going over too, just in case. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Right,
I'm sure
yeah.
it will, right? We've had previous meetings that recorded the audio, right?
Yeah, that was Zoom. Right now, it's showing when you guys talk. The speaker like thing is going up and down, so I'm assuming it's picking it up.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. probably fine.
That's
Are
how
you
I
using, like,
kind of
OBS
know.
or something?
Yeah, I'm using OBS. I'm using
Okay.
Streamlabs OBS to record. So I just got the window capture on to capture this entire window.
Mhm. What the heck? I still can't find it. It's fine. Whatever. Maybe
So
my
I
computer's
think
not.
hopefully we get Ian back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Trying to check the like, make sure the mail. I also have the project plan pulled up.
Sweet.
Yeah, it looks like Professor answered my questions what risk and quality was going to be. Looks like quality, I just need to do like a paragraph or two.
Okay, sweet.
I'll tell you what he says. Yeah, risks include technology risks, requirement changes, stuff like that. I can just probably research that kind of stuff. And looks like quality, what our team plans to assure the quality of our product is pretty much what quality is. Like
Okay.
peer code reviews, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I don't know if you guys want to ask Ian some questions for your parts when he gets back, or
Yeah.
after he's done with
Yeah,
his
definitely.
PowerPoint, so we all
Yeah.
can get our part done since it's due Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Hello?
Yo.
Finally.
Oh,
Now we
nice.
can hear you.
I had to jump to browse it. The app just wasn't working.
Okay.
It's weird. It's weird that like your mic and speakers would be working in the browser, but not.
Yeah,
I don't
Not
get
sure
it.
not sure what's going on
That
there.
is weird.
yeah, this is my first time using Teams, so
I've used Teams once for a one-on-one call, never a group thing.
Yeah, one-on-one.
Yeah.
Same.
Did we lose him? Oh, we did.
yeah, we
did.
lost. We lost
Uh-oh.
Ian.
I wonder if he's like restarting his computer or something.
Maybe. I don't know. When I realized my mic wasn't working, I was like, oh god, he's gonna get to me. He's gonna get to me. And I just started just typing. I'm like, help, help, in the void.
I'm just noticing like little features this thing has. Like when I hover over your names, it like pulls up like your contact information. It's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, so I started.
I see that. I still don't see the chat thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just blind.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, for me, it's like right next to where the mute button and stuff is. That's mine is.
When I was on the app, I didn't even have a mute button. Like I had to go into the device settings and manually click it, but it wouldn't let me unmute.
Huh.
I was like, why?
Real quick, Nick, I think I might know what the issue could be. If you want me to like help
I'm
you
okay
figure that
now.
out real quick.
I'm okay.
Well,
now.
yeah, but like,
Browser.
wasn't this happening for Zoom also?
No, my Zoom was fine. I was just
Oh,
on
okay.
I was on a iPhone. That's why I had to say sorry
Oh,
if it sounded
right.
awful.
Yeah,
Okay,
I use the same mic for Zoom, and my Zoom doesn't really pick up my mic very well. For some reason.
That was weird.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I use the same mic for Discord. I use the same mic for this, and for some reason, Zoom, when I talk through it, it just doesn't like to pick it up. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So.
Oh yeah. I was in Virginia. That's why I was on AirPods.
Yeah, I'm using like same internet, everything. So it's just weird. Zoom just hates me.
I guess so.
Well, so far this sounds fun though.
Yeah,
Mines.
he sounds
Yeah.
like a nice guy. And
Oh yeah.
knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Did y'all catch the name of his business partner / friend or whatever?
It was like
Faisal something? All I got was Faisal.
yeah.
After this meeting, I plan on trying to finish my my part for the project plan. I have the Google Doc pulled up right now. So I can look at the part.
Yeah.
I might get rid of like the title risk management plan, just call it risks, or just edit it a bit.
Oh yeah, which parts of the project were given to me?
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure I saw that.
Let me see.
Think it was. Let me pull up the outline on Canvas real quick. That'll help me.
Are you getting it?
Yeah, I need to look at the outline because that's what we based it off of. I think it was like there's two things we gave you to do. Good thing about Streamlabs, I can just minimize it. It'll still record this screen, so good.
Nice.
I think I was 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Project plan outline. There it is.
Oh, did he update a
6.
grade on there?
Did he?
Oh, I just got a notification for grade. I don't know. Oh, team formation project selection. 10 out of 10, okay.
You
Got that.
would have been pretty upset if we failed that one.
Yeah.
And confused mostly.
He hasn't upgraded the.
We got
other
full
one.
points on everything except for the deliverable plan for the
Yeah.
project plan.
He docks 4 points for us being called the Power Pals.
Really?
Well, that would be funny.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
If he did, I wouldn't like it.
Looks like we got to look at system requirement specification next. We got a deliverable plan for that coming up.
Mhm.
So it looks like we will have to look at that report and figure out tasks for that deliverable plan, so we get full points for that. Once we're done with the project plan, though.
I'm gonna send Ian an email real quick.
I was trying to find a way to invite him on here, but I don't know what I'm doing.
It'd be easy if we can get him in the Discord group chat.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
It's so easy to contact each other there too.
Mhm. Am I actually in the meeting?
There it is, project plan outline.
Oops. Why do I have 2 tabs open?
Should also be in the group section. Let's see. Group section. Pow.
I wonder if he knows he's not in anymore.
Yeah, I sent him an email
Must
just
be.
now.
Must be having difficulties.
I mean, surely he's figured it out by now, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
All right. Looks like you have work products and configuration management. For
Okay.
you, Kyle. It should be in the group section in the deliverable plan. We updated it. It should be in there. Tasks and stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking at it. It's showing you our work products and configuration management in there.
Cool.
I
can't
got
really get-
risk quality. Yeah.
I was gonna say I can't really get started on the work breakdown structure till we figure out what exactly we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That one kind of sucks.
kind of tricky.
The activity plan, I can kind of find something.
Mhm.
Hopefully, working on like the status updates and all that, I can get an activity plan, something like that. But I think what were we looking at? We saw that the main important ones were
The big one's a Gantt chart. That's like
Well, I mean,
30 points.
the big ones for the rubric on this one.
Should be when you click project plan on the canvas.
No,
Yeah.
Summary, organization, charter, task definition, schedule definition, risk, and quality and configuration management. Those are the big ones.
Mhm.
Oh, and he says this is the final version of the project plan.
Wait, really?
That's what it says on the turn-in. It's weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he said it's gonna change as the
Yeah.
semester goes.
Yeah, we're just putting down what we know for all the stuff,
Mhm.
and then we'll eventually go back. He says and change them as we go.
He's got 4 assignments due within 4 days,
Yeah. So.
and then we get 2 weeks.
Yeah. The status report. I mean, that's gonna be easy.
Yeah.
All we got to do is just add the Gantt chart to it now. I could probably just copy and paste the one that we do for the project plan and put that
Mhm.
as like the first Gantt chart, and we'll change it each time.
Yeah, that would work.
And then we've got the 2 deliverables.
Yeah, the new deliverable for like system requirements, whatever. We'll have to come up with tasks for each of us for that one. But that's a little bit later. And then we gotta
Yeah.
once we're done with the project plan, we can finish the actual report on who finished what.
Yeah.
Yep.
And turn that in.
Hey guys, my organization, oof, on point. That's such a dumb one.
Yeah. I just gotta make up risks and quality pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, at this point.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm looking at it right now, and it says work production as one of my assigned things. Is it work plan? Is that just like a typo? Because I'm not seeing any work production.
Good question.
Or work products.
Work products, yeah. We were just mainly looking at the project plan outline to give tasks for that. Product.
And we're just writing all this in the project plan we have right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a section that has product acceptance on there. I mean, we can always email the professor to like what, like, I'm assigned this section, like, what are you expecting?
Yeah, what does he expect?
Yeah. That's what I did when I was first assigned it. I just immediately emailed him like trying to figure out exactly what he wants.
Mhm.
And he pretty much told me in the email,
You.
like, quality, I need a paragraph or two. And
Hey, guys.
risks is, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, welcome
is
back.
he back?
Oh,
Welcome back.
Hey,
When
Hey
did
there.
I lose you? That's embarrassing.
Right
It was,
before the PowerPoint.
It was
Yeah.
a while
Oh,
ago,
for
yeah.
fuck's sake.
Oh, were you reading it the entire time?
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. We should have emailed you sooner.
Yeah, damn it. That's my fault. Okay. Well, then the deity has a sense of humor. Can you hear me now? I need to
Yeah.
make
yes.
sure that I ping you. Okay.
Yeah, we
I
have
went through a
Discord,
whole
too.
bunch of shit. Random thoughts on IT you completely missed then.
Yeah.
Mm.
Fortunately.
Okay. How much time do you guys have? Do you have like another 10
I
minutes?
still
I can go for
got
a while.
plenty of time.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
Okay,
time.
well, I'll do 10 minutes. It's the 10 minutes.
That works.
That works.
Okay. I'm going to keep asking you if you can hear me just because, well,
Good idea.
Yeah.
We'll try to like keep reacting to it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I wanted to say was, okay, so random thoughts. I was just saying how it's very important to manage a project, to market a project internally, right? Now, in our case, since we're developing a product, we'll still need to market it to the people that are engaged in it. So that's you guys, but also what I've talked about too is that you've got stakeholders like executives, line management, operators, and internal IT, right? And what I've said is that the most valuable, least available resources are actually the operators, the subject matter experts in the business. And very often they're not even paid to be on the project, which again, you got to create then an incentive for them to engage with you. And sometimes it's even worse. The goal of the project is to eliminate some of them. You know?
Right.
So, which is, in my opinion, the wrong focus. The focus should be, okay, how can I make these folks' jobs easier so that they can be more effective? What I think is the executives are the guys that are paying for the project. So you want to make sure they're happy. Then the operators are the ones that will actually make it a success. Line management and internal IT, less so. So I don't know if you've got, Jonathan, your dad does software. Has he mentioned that?
Yes.
Good. So two interacting and intersecting tracks. What I've said here too is that everything is technical, right? But the development, you've got a development and architectural track that is kind of the hardcore, and you've got a business process and business outcome track. Those two interact all the time because one is driving another. You can have a really difficult development effort, a really difficult problem. And if you slightly adjust the process or the business outcome you're looking for, that can make it a lot easier to do that piece of development. So very often you want to interact to where you can say, well, look, if I take this and I do it that way and I reframe the problem, does that make it easier architecturally or development? And they feed off each other if it's done effectively. I'll just say that. And then, you missed the beautiful, I waxed lyrical, but I'm not going to do it now because, damn it, I've already done it, which is a sustainable, self-reinforcing business outcome supported by the technology. I'm kind of passionate about good design. A good design makes the work easier. And a lot of times, too, it means that when you're operating a piece of software and you're operating a technology, doing it right with few errors becomes the easy path. So you always want to look at, am I making this to where if somebody even slightly messes up, there's a whole world of hurt, or can I kind of create a guidance or a buffer that makes that easier? And also what you find is that it's adaptable and scalable. So if somebody comes up with an off script used for a piece of software that you've developed, that is a great complement to that software. Mm. It really is. That says, hey, you know what? This was adaptable to something I could never have thought of. I just never would have thought to use it that way. And
Definitely.
there they are using it that way. So it's something to pay attention to as we get into the design and architecture of this piece, is that we want to leave it open, but not so open that folks don't have a clue how to use it. And there's a very delicate, honestly, there's an equilibrium there. It's a constant movement. It doesn't have a right answer. Most of this doesn't. It has better answers and kind of adoption. This is the Agile Manifesto. Are you guys doing this? Do you have this?
We've generally gone over Agile in a few of our courses, but
I agree with the manifesto, and I'm sure everybody has told you it's different. What I would say, so I've put a little bit of kind of my own thoughts on each of these, like individual actions. I do. You still have to have some processes and tools. It's what percentage of the project you want to spend deciding on and learning those tools. And what I've said is I hate the religion of PMBOK. Anyone here want to be PMP certified?
yeah.
Sure, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I am not a fan of it. I am not a fan of it. So my view of that is yes, it's a great qualification, and yes, you should do it. But please do not make PMBOK your Bible, because, I'll just say that. But again, that's just my personal opinion. Working software over comprehensive documentation. What I would say about that is documentation has a use. It captures your thoughts, it helps you present your ideas, and it acts as a reference. So I wouldn't completely discount it. Obviously, and I would say working system, working software, that is definitely the goal and outcome. But sufficient documentation can help. And we'll get into what that means for me as we get into the project. And it might mean different things for you, because ultimately you're going to want to capture your thoughts. You're going to want to be able to present your ideas, and it might be verbally, and it might need other things. And then you're going to want to reference those thoughts and ideas as we move through the project. And, you're going to want to be able to communicate those ideas to other people by just maybe saying, hey, here's a piece of paper. I wrote this down. Have a read, and then we can talk, right? I would say that.
Right.
Okay.
Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Having worked for, I guess, some large companies and for KPMG, we're always trying to protect ourselves from the lawsuit. And honestly, sometimes that just got in the way. You'd spend 30, maybe 40% of your time documenting why you made a decision, making sure you had your work papers so that when the inevitable lawsuit came, you would have justification and it would all be discoverable. The problem with that is if you spend all that time doing it, then you're not delivering, and you almost set yourself up for the lawsuit. And I talked about shafted, because that's where you do want to have a certain level of, hey, we agreed to do this. I noticed that you're changing your mind. You're allowed to do that, but I do want you to notice that you're changing your mind so that you don't ask me why I haven't done the thing you didn't tell me to do. So that's certainly a great principle, and I'm a great believer in it. It's getting that balance. It's getting that balance, because the more legalistic, you are or have to be, the less collaborative. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And then the responding to change versus following a plan. I'm all for responding to change, but I am also for having a plan. What I've said is if the project is any size or complexity, and this is a reasonable size and complexity, you won't know everything up front, and we won't. And it takes, you can just waste a lot of time trying to know everything up front. And you have some folks in this business, because we're a binary kind of business. It's like, well, I either know it or I do not know it. And it's like, well, let's get into some superposition where you know it, but you don't know it.
Right.
And it's letting go of your fears, but I also will say having a plan that's a kind of general plan that can adapt is the is just a good idea. So is having some documentation. So is having a negotiated expectation, which isn't a contract, but is a negotiated expectation. So all of the things on the right, as it says, there is value. We just value the ones on the left more. And I would agree with that. That's why I've made them orange instead of red. It's like, yeah, go through on the individuals and interactions, working software, collaboration, responding to change. Those are great. But the other things add ballast and create balance that you need. Otherwise, if you just do all these, you end up in a chaotic, mildly half-assed situation where what you thought you were doing isn't what you end up doing at all. And your customer won't be happy. Trust me. Yeah.
Real quick, do you have a PowerPoint up right now? Because can anyone else see that?
No.
Oh no.
Why did you tell me these things?
I didn't realize there was supposed to be a PowerPoint.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay. I mean, it's fine. I feel like we all picked up on
Yeah.
I was
what's
listening.
happening.
Okay. Well, that's 2 fails on Friday.
That's
Set up
fine.
for a
It's
great
the first
weekend.
meeting. We're
Hopefully that's
learning.
my quota for the week. Okay. Well, it would be Friday. I mean, Friday to Friday. Right. That's what I mean by. So you see, words are good. PowerPoints are good. Interacting intersect tracks. Now this makes more sense. Next time I'll just send you the bloody PowerPoint in advance.
Yeah.
There's, you see my green and my orange. See, it's all pretty and what percentage agile software. It's good. Thank you for telling me, by the way.
Hey, at least we didn't lose you this time.
And
I know.
Do you think real quick that you can? Is there like a way to minimize my picture in the bottom right? Because there's like a 1 second
There you
delay
go.
or something, and it's very confusing for me.
There you go.
You're gonna see. Yes, there is. So what I was saying to obviously a blank screen before was the manifesto leads into PMBOK. I don't like it if it becomes a religion. That is kind of key to me. The process isn't the purpose, right? And what I find is folks who do computer science and IT for a living, who study it and want to be in it, there's a reason why we all need to remind ourselves of this. Now, if we were in marketing, we wouldn't. We'd actually green all these and orange all these, right? Because marketing folks don't care about, tend not to be process oriented, tend not to be binary in their thinking, tend not to be task oriented, which for better or worse, most folks in computer science are task oriented, fairly binary in their thinking, and process oriented.
Yep.
For very good reasons, right? So what I would say is you need both. This is all about outcome, individuals, and customers, and responding to change, all of which are not completely natural to IT folks in general. God knows I have spent. So my degree is in computer science, mathematics, and psychology.
Oh wow.
So and I'm actually a failed physicist because I just didn't have the math for it, but I find I have some decent people skills. And you would not believe how many hours I have spent negotiating process with very, very smart people instead of developing software. It's like, well,
Right.
Ian, this is not agile. And it's like, I don't care. It won't work. They're German. They won't do what you want. And it's like, yes, but it's not agile. And I'm like, let's go back to the part where I don't care. Should carry it. And it's like, oh, okay. And so it's just one of those things. It's fascinating to me. Everybody needs to feel valued and listened to. So I'll say that this is also an equilibrium. You'd be surprised. Right. These are the 12 principles. That's a lot of principles. That's what I was trying to say, where simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done, is essential. It's what you can take out of a piece of process, what you can take out of a piece of development, means that you don't have to make it right. You don't have to make it perfect. You just get rid of it altogether. That is a great design principle. It's one I try to apply every chance I get. If you don't have to take a step, don't. Eliminate the step entirely. That way you don't have to manage it, you don't have to maintain it, you don't have to improve it, you just get rid of it. The technical excellence and good design, that's again, it's my opinion that when you're doing good design and kind of developing, you're looking at a reference architecture, you're making sure does that fit. And that's not just a technical architecture, that's a business architecture, right? What are we trying to get here? Does that fit or does it take us away? Again, if you take that to its nth degree, it gets in the way because again, you're into, well, this isn't in the reference architecture. And it's like, yes, I know, but we need it. And it's like, yes, but it's not in the reference architecture. And it's like, I want to care. How can we maybe alter the reference architecture? And it's just interesting. Yeah, business people and developers. I don't agree with this, right? Business people must work. This is the whole Scrum and having business owners, Scrum and all that good stuff. First of all, that's a lot of, I mean, if it's a 10 or 15 minute stand up, I could see it, but it's just a lot of commitment to ask your operators to give. If you can, well, what I think, especially today, especially in the world we live in, people's time is their most valuable resource. I think the more respect you give that time, just like your time, to be honest, guys, the more respect you give that time, the better. So, that's again, one of my many, many, many pet peeves is like, don't send me a meeting in which you haven't thought through at least a little bit of the agenda for that meeting. If you haven't looked at, okay, how am I going to structure this time? What's my outcome from it? You haven't really respected that person's time. And what you're doing is you're saying, hey, you may have wanted to go home and play with your kids. You may have wanted to have a nice lunch with a business friend. But I'm going to take that time now and I'm going to use it for my needs. You better have good needs. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I do it. I mean, it's just not right. That's my opinion. So build projects around motivated individuals. Well, that's very, very true. But I do think that you need to manage that motivation and understand that you have individuals. So treat people. It's that humanity that I think gets lost sometimes in process. That's why I get annoyed at Tim Bach acolytes. They're like, oh, this is the process. And we said that you're motivated, so you must be. And it's like, we haven't done anything to make me motivated.
Right.
Well, we've empowered you. Well, let's look at that. What do you mean by you've empowered me? You've told me that you want this outcome. Great. Why do I want it? So it's like there needs to be a healthy level of cynicism to some of this great high thinking. I'll just say that. Yeah, that's all. So that's, these 3 slides are kind of the philosophy, the methodology, the approach, right? This is the project, right? So high risk effort to migrate functionality from legacy to dynamics, understand the constraints of operating a platform environment, creating, so we're going to be doing that. That is the outcome, which is functionality from a legacy system into dynamics, right?
Very legacy.
Very legacy.
How legacy?
To take that out. It's green screen. It's
Mhm.
I almost want to. So Faisal was like, "Oh, well, don't show him the current system." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's a nice little kind of
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. It's
archaeological thing. That'd be cool." So we might do a little demo of that, just because, now that I mention it out loud, I'm thinking, you know what, that would be. Um, I think that as you guys launch your career, and no one knows, right? Anyone who tells you they know what's going to happen 3 years from now in IT probably is trying to sell you something. And
They're
I
lunatic.
think that I may be
They're
doing that.
lying. Yeah.
So I'm seeing a lot of folks build stuff around Salesforce, which is a software as a service. Microsoft obviously wants to be in that space. Will be. SAP thinks it is. These are kind of the large business application companies. We're going to be helping Microsoft, and the goal of Microsoft has been and always will be to own the planet. And I think that's perfectly fine as long as there's some people. Eventually, I'm sure they'll get broken up. Not yet.
Right.
Mhm.
Creating value is by truly scalable. Creating value is business. Yeah. I'm going to just say grand. We'll get into it. I talk about small team, tight integration, safe. So I'm going to write to each of you kind of separately and together to just understand which areas you'd like to focus in on, which tracks. Because as I mentioned, each of you are individuals. Each of you will have different things you want to get. And it's not like there's a shortage of work on the project or a shortage of things to do. So, my thing is, maybe I should ask you what you want to do before telling you what you should do. You'd be amazed at how few people do that, and then wonder why they don't have the outcome they're looking for. It's just crazy to me. But that's what I'm going to be doing next. We'll get into some of that. But this is the context. This is why I'm excited by this, because ultimately, I think here's where I get to sell you something in 3 years, is that Microsoft's platform will start to push its tentacles out into small, medium-sized businesses. It will expand. Everybody uses Office now. The next logical step is business applications. There's no reason they should be as hard to do or hard to get at or hard to use as they are. I definitely think that's coming. I've seen it. I've helped GameStop do it. I just did another client there. It's just interesting. Again, we don't have time today, but I want to talk about that at some stage, which is just the experience of folks flat out not wanting to do what you as a technologist or process person, because I was a management consultant as well as an IT consultant, knows is the smart right thing to do. And just how to sell that, because you can't force people to do the right thing. You can try, but you can't. You get to sell it, and it's just how we get that. That's going to be interesting, and I definitely think it's part of the effort. So, and you guys are all still there, right? Because
Yes.
Yes. We see everything.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Okay. Details. We're building on BC Enterprise, roles and responsibility built into security. So we're going to get into that compliance model. Product development is different to project, which is different to bespoke. Each of those are related but different. So you're developing a system. We're developing a system. We're developing a system on a system using a system. I think more and more that's how stuff will happen. I think the days of a completely separate monolithic system, if they ever existed, are over. I think that companies will develop components, but they'll never again develop an entire system for themselves. Although I stand to be corrected. The two critical business scenarios that we'll be looking at is job estimation, which is a configurator, but it's a bit more than that, and job scheduling. And it's a very common problem. And Faisal's, he's also, I think he taught software engineering at one stage. he keeps talking about this NP hard problem, and I've looked it up, and my math doesn't care about it. But if you've got multiple machines that you're scheduling and multiple jobs of different sizes with different needs from those different machines, you've got an NP hard problem. And what you'll see in a lot of light manufacturing, not just printing, is, okay, how do we optimize our use of our resources, and how do we adjust for change? And then, it's a problem in every industry, but it's also a problem in the print industry, and it has some specifics, and I expect we'll get into those. But those two, if we can solve for those two, we have a nice demoable product. And then, we're going to also look at creating a compelling message for key decision makers in this business, in this industry. So sales, portal, purchasing, and financial management. And a lot of that is there, but it needs to be configured in ways that are specific to the industry. And then what I've said is why Microsoft might be interested, and I'm definitely going to try to leverage as many of my little Microsoft contacts as I can. We'll see how that goes. Sometimes they're interested, sometimes they're not. They're a large company, but at the same time they should be. So I'll reach out to some and see if they are. So this is the MVP. Yeah, I sort of hate minimum viable product because I don't know what that means, and I'm much more of a fan of cool, but I can understand the concept behind it. I'll just say that. Right. So people, some thought leaders. So what I'd like to do through the project is if I'm going to try to pull this off. It may not work. It may work. Faisal obviously we'll meet and talk to. We'll need to get the SMEs lined up. We'll decide who talks to them and how we talk to them in the age of COVID. Jeff Donaldson used to be the CIO of GameStop. He's a thought leader. I'd love to get an hour of his time. I'm hoping I can. I haven't reached out to him yet, but he's a friend of mine. I chat to him. He hired me. Thomas Helsberg, he would be cool. Now I've talked to him a few times. He was the CTO and the chief architect of Dynamics 365. So he built the thing we'd all be using. He's Danish, and he's just brilliant. That's all I'll say about him. He actually doesn't work for Microsoft anymore. And if we all want to talk to him, we'll have to do it early in the morning because he's 7 time zones away. But he's a good guy. Sean Dunn is just somebody I know, but he's on the security and GDPR and privacy thing. He's in Dublin, works for GameStop. Jim Motes is the chief information security officer or whatever, the CISO with GameStop, worth talking to. I very much doubt I'll get Marco's time. He was the managing director of Dynamics, the kind of brilliant business guy. I think he's working for Bain Capital now. That's why I don't think I'll necessarily get his time, but we can always ask. And we'll just do with that. And then engaging with Microsoft, Microsoft really wants to push BC. So the fact that we have, you guys are actually a valuable commodity to Microsoft. You are students and therefore can be enlisted in the takeover of the planet by Microsoft. And so honestly, they should be interested in talking to you. But let's find out. And again, I know some people and we can ask them, hey, they actually have a very good, have you guys been to their center here? They have a center of excellence here in Dallas.
I don't think so.
I have not, no.
No.
Did somebody say yeah?
No, I said no.
No worries.
No.
So Velocio are just a third party. Again, we'll start to see about, so Velocio I know because I know the sales guy there and I know a bunch of people there. So we'll engage with them because what they do is they're a partner to partners. And then as we get up to speed, I'm sure we'll find a reason to talk to them. So we'll definitely engage with some thought leaders just to get some ideas and things going on. Okay?
Yeah.
And then where to start? Knowledge acquisition. So I'm going to reach out. I'm going to suggest some things to help you acquire some knowledge so that we can have a conversation and start to design the solutions, and start to understand, okay, well, what are we going to configure? What are we going to build? Where is that all fit? So it's just get some knowledge so that we can have those conversations and they can be intelligent and useful. Again, it's that respect for each other's time. Dynamic stack, commercial, printing business. Then, what I'm expecting is in the next couple of weeks, we start to create that plan. So we start with the vision and charter. We've got kind of the rough outline of it, agree roles in the project. They should be very fluid. Agree how we want to break up the work, because, can't all be doing the same piece of work because, well, that's redundant. And it's also, if we multiply 10 hours by 5 people, we got 50 hours. We can get a lot done with that. That's a lot of hours. Milestones, deliverables. So we just lay those out. So, and then understand our risks and constraints, people, resources, architecture. It's like, okay, well, this is the team. The team is fairly inexperienced, but has different kind of backgrounds and capabilities they can bring to the party, and we need to kind of make sure we've identified those, the resources in terms of development, and then the overall architecture. Right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with that. We're going to use these pieces to create the plan, and we're going to build on the knowledge that we don't have yet. Make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Questions?
When do we plan to talk about the plan or whatever? Do you have any thoughts on that, or plans for the plan?
Exactly. So again, it's that whole constraints. We need to meet next week. We need to spend an hour or so next week, or maybe two 1-hour meetings, right?
Yeah.
What works? When that's where, if you guys send me kind of your, hey, here's blackout days, or here's where I can't meet or we can't meet, and then Victor, obviously your role as team lead is you don't get to lose that.
Right.
So to help kind of coordinate some of that, and then what I'll share with you is several things. One, resume building, right? So let's make sure we give everybody a really important sounding role.
Right. Yeah.
But especially in the area that you want to get a gig in, right? So if you want to be doing security, because I know somebody mentioned security, then let's make sure that the role includes that, right? If you want to be doing business analysis and design, let's make sure that the role says that on the project. You know what I mean? Because that's just smart. And if we do it up front, it makes it easier. And by the way, 2 people can do the same role. And yes, everybody will have leader or leadership somewhere in their friggin' resume, right? So don't worry
I like the sound of that.
too.
It's the game we play. Why not? Yeah, by the way, I have 4 kids.
Okay.
Wow.
And 3 of them are in college, and 1 of them is graduated. So,
Nice.
so I know how this works. And I know
That's good.
it's half the fun of it, to be honest, is gaming the bloody system. We all want to win.
Yeah.
Because it's not always a nice system, and it deserves to be gamed, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I
good.
agree.
Okay, so what I'm saying is let's meet twice next week at least. It's twice anyway, right?
Yes.
I'm going to send out an email, and the email is just going to ask kind of the questions that I just did, but now you have more time and context to think about the answers, right?
Yeah.
And take a little bit of time to think about those the questions, and then think about your own questions and about your own kind of again, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to what's the right word? I'm not evaluating you. We're working on a project together. So So that's all this amounts to. And as I said right at the beginning, I'm going to learn as much from you, and probably more than you are from me, and that's good because we'll all learn together. And I do think we'll get a nice piece of software out of this. I really do, because you guys, I've just looked. You've got some talent there. You've got some background, and that's going to be satisfying, because then we can all kind of demo that, and it can be something that you can point to prospective employers. So let's get it done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Good. That's all I got.
All right.
My
pleasure.
Well, it was very nice to meet you.
Yeah,
very
it was
nice.
very
Finally
nice.
getting to meet.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to work with this.
This will be
Mhm.
fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
I expect it will be. It'll be some hard work, but it'll also be fun.
Yeah,
And I'm
I mean,
sure
I would-
we'll have little dust ups, but we'll manage around those too.
I was spending that entire PowerPoint presentation just kind of processing that I was finally going to get to work on something in the industry, and it was just very
Yeah, it's cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Alright.
and I will of course include the PowerPoint in the email. Okay,
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.
thanks guys.
Have a good one.
Have a great
Yeah,
Friday.
have a good day.
Have a good one.
Cheers now. Bye now.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.